American dramatist and screenwriter Sidney Howard remarked, "One half of knowing what you want is knowing what you must give up before you get it. Change always costs you something, if not monetarily then in time, energy and creativity. In fact, if change doesn't cost you anything, then it isn't real change as you consider how to make the changes needed to improve and grow. It is important to measure the cost of change compared to the cost of the status quo. You have to do your homework. That often makes the difference between change equals growth and change equals grief. What will the changes you desire really cost you?" Management expert Tom Peters gives a perspective on this. He suggests don't rock the boat, sink it and start over. If you desire to be creative and do something really innovative, that's sometimes what it takes. You must destroy the old to create something new. You cannot allow yourself to be paralyzed by the idea of change. Change must happen within you before it can happen around you. I love the Peanuts comic strip by Charles Schulz in which Lucy says to Charlie Brown, "I would like to change the world. Where would you start?" Charlie Brown asks her. Lucy's simple reply, "I would start with you." I hate to say it, but our attitude is probably a lot more like Lucy's than we would want to admit. If we don't like something, we desire change for everyone other than us. We are resistant to change. Novelist Frances Hodgson Burnett wrote, "At first people refused to believe that a strange new thing can be done. And then they began to hope it can be done. Then they see it can be done. Then it is done, and all the world wonders why it was not done centuries ago." Artist Andy Warhol observed, "They always say that time changes things. But you actually have to change them yourself. The truth is that any change that occurs in the world always begins first with change within an individual. That's why playwright George Bernard Shaw said, 'Progress is impossible without change. And those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything.' The good news is that once you dedicate yourself to growth and develop a lifestyle of planned improvement from the inside out, it becomes normal to you. And you notice when you're not making the progress you have come to expect." It is said that pianist Arthur Rubinstein refused to listen to recordings made of songs he had played, even only a few months after he completed them. He was dissatisfied with the playing he heard. Why? Because he had grown and changed. But the recordings had not.